Welcome to Two Fat Buds. My name is Lee Hacker, and this is my partner in crime,
Skunkle Al. Hey, everyone.
Skunkle Al is with us this week. Hey, Al, guess what?
What?
I am really excited about tonight's guests.
I am too.
These guys are very talented. And well, shit. I just lost what I was trying to say. Very talented cartoonists. They do drawings and stuff called Toon Buds. Have you checked this out yet?
Yes, I have, and they are awesome. I really enjoy them.
Yes. So, without further ado, we're going to bring in Jeremy and Jason of Toon Buds.
Hey, welcome, guys.
Welcome in, gentlemen. So, as I said, I'm excited to meet you guys. I've checked all your stuff. To me, it's hilarious. It's educational. It's spot on. Really good. Your stuff on YouTube, your videos on YouTube are great. Your little cartoons that you post in the 420 Campfire page, which we're part of, but we're not sponsored by, is awesome. Mm-hmm. So I'm very happy to have you guys on tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Do you want to maybe start with the questions tonight, and we'll just dive right into this? Because something tells me this is going to be an interesting conversation we're going to have.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait. Thanks, Lee. Okay, guys, first question that I have for you is, can you tell us a bit about yourselves and how Toon Buds came to be?
My name is Jeremy. I handle the business side and do the writing and like the storyboarding of Toon Buds.
My name is Jason Daly. I do all the art and animations for Toon Buds.
That's awesome. Now, have you guys had formal schooling on how to animate and do storyboards and stuff like that? Or, I'm sorry, I went off script there. But
no, I'm completely self-taught.
Yeah, let's say
that is
like
really
when we needed it. Like we need
that is incredible,
guys. Figure out how to do it.
That's amazing. I would never guess you were self-taught, honestly. So your talent is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Speaking of your talent, your animation is time-consuming. Animation is a time-consuming.
We have a little bit more left.
Yeah. So we're two brothers born and raised in
Massachusetts.
We're the youngest. I have 2 children. I mean,
5 children.
I have 5 children. They're the youngest. All our names start with J, which is interesting.
Oh, interesting.
We grew up working for our family business, which does like demolition, trash removal, and during the winters we do a lot of snow shoveling and plowing.
You have to make the bills, right?
Yep, exactly. It's a lot. It's hard work. So,
absolutely.
We're close to each other in age. I'm 31. He's 34. So we grew up together, watching cartoons, reading comics together. Plus, we have 3 older siblings above us. We watched all their cartoons with them, and our father and our parents, like they show us theirs. So we've always loved cartoons.
Awesome.
We've always dreamed about making something of our own. That we would always like, you know how you chill, you smoke, you talk, you're like having a good time telling stories. That's kind of like where Toon Buds was born.
That's awesome. Lee, would you have any questions? Or...
I think they're still going on with their things. Let's see what else they got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
So when we first started, I doodled this character. He had a bong for a head, and out of all the characters I've created over the years, there was like a certain life to this character that all these other characters didn't have that I've created. So we started talking about this character and what kind of characters would be his friends, who would like go along, what kind of world would this be, and we obviously like landed on the cannabis theme, and we wanted to really like sorry, I like went off script on my own.
Oh, that's okay.
No, we really wanted to like do something educational too.
Yes,
and
that's
like really
what I was looking for.
And drive it home of like, oh, this can be like fun and like you're gonna learn something.
Yeah, because there's so much this plant can do.
Oh my God, yes. All right, and let me see. What inspired you to create a weed-related cartoon series?
So, like we said, like it was born from cannabis.
I understand.
Conversations, just smoking together. You're like, what happens if this happened, or what if there was a character like this, or
Mhm.
what if there like that stupid moment we had the other day was a comic strip? Like that's kind of
That's
where
awesome.
it all began.
Yeah, definitely a lot
Gotcha.
of like dumb things I've done like throughout, like just like inspired like moments in this cartoons and things we could do and like talk about. Definitely
So
kind of, like,
everyday events you kind of work into your Toon Buds.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna go off script for a second. You guys said you grew up watching cartoons. What cartoons were your influences as a child?
Oh,
oh yeah,
so
that's hard.
many.
Um,
Scooby Doo, love Scooby Doo.
Love Scooby Doo.
yeah, Scooby Doo
The
is a big
classic
one.
Hannah's. Yeah.
We watched like I watched like a lot of anime when I was like at one point too, like the
Okay.
Japanese cartoons and like
Mhm.
we also watched like
We were '90s kids, so
yeah,
a lot of
90s.
'90s cartoons.
So like the X-Men, the Spider-Man, the Batman, the Superman, like they were all really good. And it was like there was like a lot of like excitement in cartoons at that point for more adult themed cartoons. And I feel like
Correct.
we picked up on that a little bit too. Like
Mhm.
Plus older ones like Tom and Jerry, like the animation in that, like when looking back, I'm like, that's amazing.
yeah.
And to know that they did that one cell at a time,
Yep.
that blows my mind to know about that. So yeah. No, you guys are naming some great cartoons I'm very familiar with. I mean, I'm older than you guys are. I actually have children your age. And I know that I used to enjoy watching X-Men with them and the Spider-Man and the Batmans with them because it was more adult-sided, but it was a kid's show.
Exactly.
And that was great to me. So cool. And you also mentioned some of the older ones, with Scooby-Doo and stuff. Those are my generation of cartoons I grew up watching. So, and then they got the new ones, and everything, but it's always the same thing, looking for ghosts and make sure they get enough food.
You gotta love it. Shaggy's one of the original stoner characters.
I know.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Very much so. All right, let me see if I can get the second question in on you guys. Animation is a time-consuming and interactive process. How do you balance your passion for cannabis culture with the demands of creating an animated series? What are some of the unique challenges you've encountered while creating Toon Buds, and how do you overcome those obstacles?
So we're like a two-man crew, so balancing time is always a hard task.
Yeah, animation, it's absolutely a time-consuming process. Like we're doing it a combination of like the traditional way, frame by frame, but also using a few digital shortcuts so it's like a combination, which is kind of like Toon Buds in a way. We combine like the old cartoons with the new cartoons, and we're creating this new thing. And I can tell you that like without cannabis, like we would not make it through some of these long nights.
I hear that.
Yeah, like
I can relate to that.
When we first started up, we just had our artwork and comic strips. Like we go to events, everyone would be like, "Oh, this would be so great as a cartoon," and that really pushed us to want to learn how to animate. Like we want to see this as a cartoon too, but it's like we don't have $1 million to make a cartoon. Like, so that really pushed us into wanting to expand our skill sets in that way.
Yeah, because like we had to like learn how to like do the voicing and like writing and getting all like the jokes in and like the educational part and then like the flow and like the frames and like all the animation.
Yeah, there's a lot of tedious things that goes into it that you don't think about.
I'm sure.
I'm sure there is. First of all, I have no lick at art whatsoever. I can't draw a square or a circle to look anything like a square or a circle. So, like I said, I'm very highly impressed with the fact that you're self-taught and you're doing the things that to me is up there with other anime stuff, honestly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You want to try the third one?
Sure. Collaboration is essential in animation. Can you shed some light on how your team works together to bring the characters and stories of Toon Buds to life? Do you have any memorable moments from your creative process?
Okay. So, I think maybe we have.
Yep, we just missed one question there, Albert.
Third,
Memorable
third
moment.
one,
Here
though.
we go. Okay. So, a memorable moment in the creative process for us was the first time we got Bongo to move. It was like there's only a few frames of animation. It was like the old school like up and down bounce that they used to do, but it like the character already had life, but that brought even more life into the character. And that my mom has always been supportive of us, but like when she saw the character move, that's when she said like she saw the vision.
Nice.
And that just motivated us to keep pushing forward.
That's cool.
Very cool.
And then I wouldn't be able to like focus so much time to drawing if I didn't have him handling all like everything else.
Oh, I'm sure.
Storyboarding and like doing stuff like that, it's just like laying down the groundwork of like what it could be and like jokes and things like that. So it like helps you set up then like because animation takes so long, you don't want to backtrack and have to redraw anything.
Yeah.
So you have to have everything laid out. You have to have all your jokes set up and ready to go. You have to have the dialogue and like mouth flapping and all that stuff was like a whole process. And like, it just, it's.
And then sometimes like you'll hear a joke a million times and it starts to like not be funny anymore. And you're like, is this funny? I don't know if I just heard it a million times because we've gone over it so many times.
Yeah.
That's when you see more and reread it one more time.
Exactly.
Yep, definitely. Lee, would you like to take on the fourth question, sir?
Yes. Let's see. YouTube has become a popular platform for creators to showcase their work. What role has it played in the success of Toon Buds? Have there been any significant challenges or opportunities associated with being a YouTube-based series?
We use YouTube to post like longer animations as like
it takes like so much time to make, but we're working on big projects right now. We're trying to set things up so we can release things on a more regular basis. Like earlier, like Scooby-Doo, we've been watching like all these old like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like I'm studying to see all the little shortcuts that they do, like and try to set up models because in Scooby-Doo they'll be walking along. That's the same walking animation that they reuse that animation. So we're trying to set things up like that.
Gotcha.
And then our longest animation is about 17 minutes long. It's called Bongo Saves Winter. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out. It's about Bongo. He finds a pot plant labeled Winter. It's not doing so good. He's got to find the buds, try to help, see if they can help. And with that, we've entered into a couple of different film festivals. So
really?
The Poor Life Decisions Film Festival. They were raising money for like a children's hospital. It was like mature content for a children's hospital.
Nice.
Really. And we won Best Stoner Cannabis Comedy Short Film.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you. And then we won. We entered the International Cannabis and Hemp Film Festival, and we won Shockingly Artistic.
Wow.
Okay. That's interesting.
Take it.
Yeah, really. A win's a win, right?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, and we learned a lot from that too, because that was our first like big project.
We
didn't really learn like too much as we were doing that one, but we learned a lot more like as we did it and like from the process of making it.
Yeah, it's been like I look back at that animation, I'm like, I can do so much better now. Like I've grown so much from that already. I'm definitely excited to like show people what we've been working on.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see your next project that you do. I look forward to anything new that's coming out from you guys. So I'm telling you, you got a fan in me. Let me tell you.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And we love seeing people like respond to it.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
they gotta mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Al, do you want to take the Tune Buds is likely?
Yeah. Tune Bugs has lightly garnered a diverse and engaged fan base. What kind of feedback have you received from your audience? How do you incorporate their suggestions and opinions into your future episodes?
So we've had a lot of like positive feedback from everyone in the community. They really like enjoy what we're doing, and like with so many different characters and like doing like different like hobbies and stuff. I feel like a lot of people enjoy it from like a lot of different ranges.
Yeah,
of, like
there's so many different characters, and they each have their own interests and hobbies and stuff. So there's like the Looney Tunes. There's someone like they latch on to different characters. People like this one. People like him. So yeah, and then we like to like when we go to events and people will ask us like grow questions because we do have a little bit of grow experience just from like growing at our house and stuff. Like we're like this is an opportunity to turn this into a comic strip because it's like if one person's asking it, there's probably a ton of people asking it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I definitely like trying anyone like who like will ask me some questions. I'll try to like answer it in a comic strip, and then like so everyone knows, and like kind of do it that way.
Yeah, in a fun way.
In a fun way.
Try to keep the education fun.
That's awesome.
And
So
That is awesome.
let me ask this thing, as we talked earlier before we actually got on the camera and stuff. The last comment that you put up a couple weeks ago about flushing your plant, you know, it dawned on me you guys are educating them while you're making them laugh at the same time, and that reaches a broad spectrum of people to help them learn something maybe new that they didn't know about growing a plant. So it just, again, what you guys are doing is just amazing stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and we like to like collaborate with people in the community too. Like currently we're collaborating with Beaver Buds. He's a grower. He makes like new strains, and he's got these two little beaver characters, and we're doing little time traveling comic strips with him, and like
showcasing cannabis throughout history.
Yeah, that's what we're
like,
doing.
As we're time traveling with these
Nice.
characters.
That's cool.
And yeah, we're always looking to collaborate with people too.
That's good.
That is cool.
keeping your horizons open a little bit wider by collaborating with other people.
Yeah,
that's really smart.
Like
really
bring
smart.
their characters into our world, or
yeah, do a mixture of stuff.
Yeah, like Batman meets Bongo on his days off.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like the comic book universe of like cannabis. Like you have all these crossovers and like.
Yeah, we did.
That'd be really cool.
Comic stuff with Cannawise too, where it was like a company in this area that helps people get their medical license. So we did a comic strip on how to get your medical license, how to drive with cannabis, and like edible dosage. So like they were really heavy on like the educational stuff, but like we like try to like really like fit who we're like working with.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Lee, would you like to ask the next question, please?
I would love to ask these gentlemen the next question. Let's see.
Animation allows.
Yep. Animation allows for creative expression and the ability to tackle societal issues. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Have you explored any important topics related to cannabis or its impact on society through Tune Buds? If so, can you provide some examples?
So yeah, we explore these in a bunch of different ways. For example, with the antagonists of Tune Buds, the 4Ds, we wanted to represent things that cannabis fights. Like a lot of other people, I've struggled with like depression and anxiety. I get anxiety attacks to the point where my hand's shaking, and cannabis is like the only thing that will help me calm me down, so I can actually draw again.
Nice.
Do something that I love. So that's why I'm like, well, I'm always grateful for it. But that's where I wanted the first villain to be. I wanted it to be like depression and anxiety, and we represented it by this big black. All our evil characters are represented by big black shadows. Yep. But the shape of the depression and anxiety is like a cloud because it's always like above you, and it's raining. Depression, you know what I mean?
Yep, I do know what you mean.
So our second villain would be, disease. or illnesses and physical pain. So we made disease be shaped like a snake because it can feel like it's like wrapping around your body and you're squeezing the life out of you almost. You know what I mean? And these are like, we want this to be the things that cannabis fights.
And then the last one is dullness, and it's like also like cannabis is recreational, so you know what I mean. It fights the dullness like of boredom and things like that.
Bringing
So
like some creativity back into the world.
yeah, exactly.
And then their leader would be the Dark King, which would be like he incorporates elements from all of his like generals and basically their leader. And we got the Toon Buds fighting for good.
That is so cool.
The fact that most of the Toon Bud characters are some type of superhero, except for, if I'm not mistaken, your news anchor lady. I can't think of her name for all of a sudden.
MJ, yeah, we have
MJ.
We have a superhero for her. It's called Hydro.
Yeah, she's Hydro.
I must have missed that.
Well,
Okay.
it's just a picture at the moment. I have superhero versions for all of them.
We're working on an actual superhero like comic too with them.
That's
so
great.
We'll explain things more.
Okay. That's awesome. That is awesome.
The animation industry has seen an increased representation and diverse voices in recent years. How do you ensure that Toon Buds represents a variety of perspectives within the cannabis community?
So we're driven to build like a positive community, and that like anyone can join and like find something that like connects to them, and like we just like trying to use like elements of the real world to create like
a diverse cast of characters because the world is diverse. You know what I mean?
So
we try to showcase the fun side and the educational side. We go to a lot of events and talk to a lot of people, getting a lot of different perspectives on things. So we try to incorporate that into Toon Buds and just make it a safe space for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cannabis is all about relax and chill.
A lot of people smoke, and like so like it connects a lot of different types of people.
That it does. That it does. Most definitely connects different types of people. That's cool.
And then,
Lee, do you want to go with the next question, please?
Yep. What are your future plans for Toon Buds? Any exciting projects or developments on the horizon that you can share with us?
So this is like only a start. Like I think we've been going for about 4 years now. But
oh wow.
Yeah, this is only a start for us. We have more characters, we have more story arcs, we have so many ideas planned out. Like behind this picture are walls full of papers. So right now we're working on making like a little mini animated series where we could release something episode like somewhat on a regular basis. Like I said, we're setting things up to try to make it easier for us. It's a multi-episode mystery where the Toon Buds are locked in a mysterious mansion, and each of the rooms will have different things going on, and cannabis might be the key to getting them out. That's all I say.
Nice.
I don't want to reveal too much on that one.
Okay.
And we're also working on long form comics too, because people love the comics. So we have so many ideas, and we can get the comics out faster than the animation.
Yeah.
So we just want to release some stories while people are waiting for it.
Understood.
Which we have so many ideas. We got we said a superhero one. We got a detective one. We got a
Western one.
Martial arts one.
Martial arts.
Wow.
My racing one. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. We want to give them all like little go-karts, be like wacky races.
Wacky races. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, that's great. That is great. All righty. You got one more there?
Yes, sir, I do. There are many different characters. You have Trey, Bongo, Zip, Kiefer, Vape, RJ1, Mason, MJ, Blizzy, and Jay, Piper, and the 4DS. How did you come up with the names of the different characters?
sure some of them are obvious.
Some are a little
Yeah.
obvious.
Some are a little obvious, yes.
Okay. Bongo, he's obviously based on a bong. When we first came up with his name, we were throwing out a bunch of different names for him. It was like, is he Bong Man or? And then someone said Bongo, and everyone kind of laughed. And it was like, that's what we want him to do. We want him to make people laugh. So I'm like, the name fit.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
MJ was based off a pot leaf. So there's many different names for like Mary Jane and like all that kind of stuff. And we feel like MJ was a nice like payoff to like Spider-Man and like that kind of like it's his girl, like it's MJ. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
it really like fit her vibe.
Kiefer, based on a grinder. It's like combination of Keith and grinder.
Okay.
Piper is based off a pipe. It's also a dog, so it's kind of like a dog name, kind of like feeling one.
Zip is based off a lighter, like the old school. Do you have yours around here? I don't know.
No.
The old like flip lighters. I forget what they're called.
Yo, Zippos.
Yeah, the
Zippos.
Zippos. There's like an actual name for it, but yeah, obviously his name is based on the Zippo part of it.
Nice.
Mason is based off a mason jar. So for like your curing buds and like storing and stuff. So mason jars are kind of like part of that too.
Yeah, Mason's right in the name there.
And Mason's like right in the name, so I took it.
That made sense.
Blizzy and Jay are based off of like a blunt and a joint, which were always terms for blunt and joint for growing up, like slang terms. You got your Blizzies, like that Jay.
Exactly. And then Trey's like an ashtray. And we had two options with that one. It was either Ash or Trey. And then we knew a lot of Ashes, but we're like, okay, we don't know a lot of Treys, so we'll go with Trey.
That is cool.
And then Vape RJ1 is based on a vape pen, and he's also a robot. So we wanted his full name to be like hyphenated and have like the model number. And like the random J is in there, like because it's in memory for my cousin. He was a quadriplegic and he could only vape. He couldn't smoke. So his name was Sean, but it had a random J in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
So that's where I threw that J in there for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice tribute. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then like the 4Ds we were talking about earlier are like depression, disease, dullness, and darkness.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's really cool that you guys come up with like a superhero idea and then you're fighting the 4Ds because the 4Ds of everyone in real life, everyone faces the 4Ds on a regular basis, just about. So it's really cool you got that going on. Man, oh man. Al, is there anything you want to ask the gentleman before we end this with them?
Oh my, I'll tell you what, it's been a hell of a ride so far, guys, hasn't it? What do you think about smoking one up and just sharing one right now with us?
Oh,
you down for that?
Yeah. I just have to roll something real quick.
Real quick.
I'll go quick.
He'll go quick.
No, you got 2 more minutes. We're in no rush.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I want to say again, thank you very much for coming on our podcast. I did not realize that we were talking to award-winning anime
artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 small film festivals, but hey, it's nice to say.
Yeah.
I haven't won an award for my art since like 8th grade, maybe. So winning those 2 awards, it was a real big boost.
Oh, I'm sure it was. So thank you again for coming on to our podcast. Ours is such a small podcast, but you guys said, yeah, we'll do it. So we appreciate you guys coming on and helping us out here.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Oh, anytime. You guys need anything, reach out.
Yeah, and anything that we can do for you guys, let us know. We'll definitely
We're always down to talk about Toon Buds. We could talk about it for like ever, pretty much.
I know, I could talk for days about stuff.
Well, here, let's talk about one thing that we haven't talked about. You guys' website, toonbuds.com, I posted there on the screen. You also have a shop. Can you tell us what kind of stuff you have in your shop? Do you know offhand?
Oh, so we have a lot of cool stuff. Oh, let me grab this.
He's gonna grab like our coolest thing that we have.
Our coolest thing. All right, cool.
On our shop, there's secret codes, and you use our decoder grinder to solve them, and we do giveaways and stuff.
Yeah, we'll hide the
Oh, get out of here.
That is cool.
The first message was to drink more Ovaltine.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Out of here. That is
Inspired by that.
awesome. You guys have a
Yeah.
Dakota ring built into a grinder.
Yeah. So there's like an arrow, and it like will. Or here we go. I can turn it the right
Yep.
way.
Yep.
So there's an arrow. It will point to the symbol, and then like you like match up the letters, and then you're able to like read out the codes and stuff.
That is
We
cool.
try to like do a giveaway once a month or so, and like just
Yeah, first person to decode the message.
first person decoded gets like a shirt or comic book or
That's so slick, man. You're blowing my mind with that one. Honestly.
yeah. I haven't no one ever puts anything on the side of grinders, and I was always like,
Always on
why
top.
haven't we?
Also,
Yeah.
we're trying to really incorporate it into our next animation with the mystery. So we're going to be putting this code like all over the walls and stuff. Like you can find out
Nice.
hints if you have the grinder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Well, cool.
Yeah, I'm all ready.
We're all ready.
All
right.
right.
Well, because some of us are part of 420 Campfire, and 420 Campfire, we count down from 5, and we say campfire and take a virtual toke together. So are you guys ready for that?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, campfire.
Campfire. Oh my. That always feels
Jason.
better.
Once again, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. It was so intriguing to get this information from you guys. Jason, again, the fact that you're self-taught is amazing, man. It really is. So keep up the good work. I look forward to your future stuff. And feel free anytime you want to use the page to promote your stuff on there, to get the word out there. We got Marketplace Monday. I would put your shop up there and let people know they can go to the shop and purchase stuff from you.
Yep.
You know, get your word out there on the page as much as you can. There's 9,000 people that watch that. And that's 420campfire.com. I'm sorry, 420 Campfire Group on Facebook is what we're talking about. Don't forget, you guys, 420campfire.com has a shop. All of our proceeds from the shop go to help a nonprofit organization. So, gentlemen, once again, thank you very much. I'm going to send you to the green room, but if you'll stay there for a second, we'll be right back with you.
Peace.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Amazing
is-
stuff right there.
It is. It is. I mean, they are doing this from scratch. No formal education other than art school in school, you know, or art
Yeah.
class in school. It's awesome the
It is
talent these two young men have.
It is. It is.
And they're really taking off with it. You know, they're accomplished. They've won awards
Yep.
with their drawings, which is awesome.
That is awesome. That is, again, I am very grateful that they decided to come on to our small little podcast we have going on here and to find out they're award winners. You know, it makes me feel like, ooh.
I know, right?
All righty, sir. Was there anything else on your end of this?
Not tonight. No, sir.
Alrighty.
I think we need to close with the countdown.
Well, before we do, anyone out there watching this, make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification bell so every time that our new podcast comes up, you'll know. And yes, let's hit that and do a 5. So I'll let you count it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire, yo.
All righty, Skunk Wild. Thank you again for this week.
Yes,
Look
sir.
forward to
Thank
next
you.
week. And with that, we will be off.